Good night and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. In the last hours, units of the National Navy achieved the rescue of 2 Dominican sailors who had been adrift for 13 days.
2 Dominican fishermen were rescued by the National Navy after being adrift for 13 days. The boat with which the 2 Dominican fishermen went out to do their work on February 8th was left without its main engine due to adverse weather conditions, being dragged nearly 640 nautical miles by the current. The emergency was reported by the fishing vessel Captain Hyde in one of the control communications established with the ARC missile frigate Almirante Padilla, surface vessel that exercised sovereignty in the Colombian Northern Caribbean waters, stating that they had found a motorboat adrift with 2 people inside, which they helped and had them on board. By means of a press release, the National Navy informed the following. The Colombian Navy surface unit sailed until it reached the position of the fishing vessel Captain Hyde, where a nurse of the Naval Institution proceeded to verify the state of health of the 2 rescued Dominican men, 21 and 37 years old respectively, who had sailed from Bocas de Chavon in the Dominican Republic to go fishing. The crew members of the Naval Institution provided care and food to those who rescued, and also provided them with the means of communication with their families. The rescued were taken abroad the ARC missile frigate Almirante Padilla to waters near San Andres, where a Coast Guard fast reaction unit took them to the dock in the Cove sector. The Colombian Navy, through the specific command of San Andres and Old Providence, points out that they will continue to conduct controls at sea while developing search and rescue operations using the available naval means, and invites the population to continue using line 146 or VHF Marine Channel 16 to report any emergency situation at sea and coastal areas.
Through social networks, the entity of the San Andres Fire Department announced that a 26-foot-long motorboat belonging to the official fire department for water rescue activities for residents and tourists was stolen. According to information, the launch was located in the San Luis sector in the Bay neighborhood. It is hoped that people who have any information to provide for its recovery will do so before the competent authorities so that this launch can be recovered and can continue to serve the island's community. And in other news, a notable neglect in the application of biosecurity protocols, such as the use of mass social distancing, has been evidenced in the island during the last months, a situation that worries the health authorities. For this reason, the government seeks that the community maintains the biosecurity protocols.
Cases of COVID-19 in the archipelago of San Andres have been declining in recent months, and in order to avoid a resurgence of the virus, the Health Secretariat is conducting an awareness campaign to maintain biosecurity protocols aimed at tourists and residents.
The Secretary of Health and the Labor Sphere continue to promote to you all to take care and to implement the biosecurity to avoid contamination of COVID-19 in our community and families. We cannot stop using the biosecurity. First and all, we have to keep on washing our hands, using gel, using alcohol. Remember, after 3 hours, we need to wash our hands with soap and water. I know you have to take your vaccine. This don't advise for us to contaminate. Yes, maybe advise for you to go to the hospital in an UC care, but we need to continue using our masks. We need to continue on washing our hands. And when we are with a lot of people, keep on our distance at least 1 meter.
The Health Secretariat calls on the entire community to maintain the correct use of masks in public spaces, and indicated that the correct use of masks and mass vaccination have helped to contain the latest peaks of COVID-19 infections, but the pandemic is still in effect, and for this reason, our biosecurity protocols must be maintained.
And full of expectations, foreign visitors during the morning hours of today docked and toured different tourist attractions on the department. Tourists expressed what they like most about the island.
With satisfaction, the foreign visitors departed from the department aboard the Seaborne Aviation on its second stop in the island. Among the notorious remarks are the sea, people, and the tropical weather were what made the crew choose the island as one of the choice of destination to visit.
The itinerary, and it sounded very nice to come. What do we expect to find? A bit of peace, nice beaches, the sea, and that's it really. And the lovely people, yes.
Well, it looked like a nice beach to go to, and so we're going to enjoy that.
We needed to get out of Los Angeles. We've been stuck for 2 years. This is our first cruise, and we're delighted to be here, and thank you for welcoming us.
It was lovely coming in here. It's gorgeous. Relaxation, tropical beach, warm water, clear water.
Nice beaches, beautiful weather.
With a very good impression the island received the visitors. The sea of the seven colors, sun and beach made their stay the best.
And in other news, according to UNESCO data, science, technology, and innovation are fundamental for economic development and social progress. In view of this, the department's unions have joined forces to develop a project that seeks to encourage these issues among the islanders.
This project, which seeks to encourage science, technology, and innovation, has already been approved by the General Royalty System and is expected to be implemented in the coming months in order to generate spaces for the dissemination of importance of science, technology, and innovation in all inhabitants of our island.
En la etapa de preparación del lanzamiento. We are in the preparation stage for the launching of a project of the Science, Technology, and Innovation System. The idea is to work jointly with the Chamber of Commerce of San Andres, the Simón Bolívar University in Barranquilla, the government, and the actors of the system, looking to think ahead and taking into account that it must be something fast. It has to do with innovation, technology, and the technological changes that are being experienced in the world, and to see how we are going to incorporate it to the archipelago in an organized manner, and that the inhabitants can face a better future and a better relationship with the environment, in addition to taking advantage of the technological changes that are occurring.
This project will last 14 months, and among its line of action is the training of the community in the STI issues, as technology mission will be conducted, as well as a mapping of actors and implementation strategies to expand the market and knowledge in science, technology, and innovation in the island.
En el 2019, la Cámara junto con la Gobernación.
In 2019, the Chamber, together with the government and the Simón Bolívar University, we joined efforts to present a project that is focused on strengthening the articulation and the way how the entities that develop science, technology, and innovation can really have the ability to present projects, because the capacity at that time was very low. So with this project, we will strengthen not only the needs, but we will take 5 initiatives with an international perspective. That is, we will see a contact with several places to copy what they have.
In this way, the community of the entities of our department will be able to and generate competencies in science, technology, and innovation.
Now, at this time, we welcome Sergio Cristancho, Vice Minister of Knowledge, Innovation, and Productivity, who will talk to us about the national government's commitment to bioeconomy. Vice Minister, tell us about the impact generated by all the expeditions you have carried out on the island and how you are investing on the region and its inhabitants.
The bioeconomy exercise is very simple. It is to take advantage of all the residual biomass that is normally wasted, both marine and coastal, related to the archipelago, and generate added value through science, technology, and innovation processes, so that this technification can become a benefit of income for the communities and companies that are linked to this initiative.
And on the other hand, what it is coming for San Andres in terms of innovation?
We, apart from the bioeconomy workshop that is going to end up in a regional agenda, it will also allow us to have a source of funding, joint work, a strategic plan, and will also allow us to move forward to align all the actors. We also came to present the offer in innovation that the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation has for the business sector.
Finally, Vice Minister, tell us a little about the work you are going to carry out with entrepreneurs in the area of innovation.
We are going to work with the business sector, showing them this offer and also identifying the possibilities that they have and the innovation inputs that they have already been making to help them to make the appropriate protection of intellectual property, patenting, commercialization of these innovations.
Thank you very much, Vice Minister, for sharing a space with your audience. It is a good opportunity for entrepreneurs to grow in innovation issues. And at this time of the night, we continue with Millicent O'Neill and all the news of the municipality of Old Providence and Santa Catalina.
Good evening to everyone. This is the most important news of Old Providence and Catalina. After 2 days without access to any of the fuels, diesel or gasoline, today the service begins to normalize with the arrival of 9,000 gallons of gasoline yesterday. Tonight, a second delivery of 8,000 gallons is expected to guarantee the supply in the municipality. It is hoped that with this, the distribution will return to normal. And in other news, following the visit of the delegated comptroller for citizen participation, the health sector made some commitments, including the transfer of the field hospital to the spa.
In less than a month, the field hospital will be completely relocated to the spa to improve conditions of service and care. This is one of the commitments made during the visit of the delegate for citizens participation.
We already received the spa on Friday of this past week. We started with the roof and the adaptations related mainly to the kitchen and dining room area because there is where the emergency area will be located.
From next week, the relocation process will begin.
Every week we are sending specialists. This month of February we have already brought urology, orthopedics, internal medicine and pediatrics, which will arrive tomorrow. The idea is that these specialists will have a permanent presence here in Old Providence. It will not be by fairs or by brigades as it used to be.
Other commitments are the delivery of the designs for the low-complexity hospital, contracting for the adjustments to the design of the Old Town Hospital, and the arrival of specialists.
Services, yes, we can move them beforehand as soon as they are completely ready. The idea is that all the services will be at the hospital. We will start moving equipment and other elements that we do not have in operation to the unoccupied areas so that the relocation will not be so traumatic for the date when the adjustments are finished.
It is expected that by March 15, the adjustments will be completed and the hospital completely relocated.
And pay close attention to the following. In the next few weeks, the collection of ordinary waste produced in households will begin.
Starting in March, the pay car company will reactivate charges for the recollection of ordinary waste. This was announced by the advisor of EPM.
This price for households has an approximate cost of 15,000 pesos, and for commercial, industrial, and official users of approximately 50,000 pesos.
Residential users of Stratum 1, 2, and 3 will have a subsidy from the municipality.
For Stratum 2, the subsidy is 50%, so the bill would be approximately 75,000 pesos. In addition to this charge, there are some users who have debts from the previous operator that will also be billed. But the company, thinking about the ease of payment of households, has deferred this fee in 48 installments.
Finally, there will be several points for payment.
They will be able to pay at Efecti, Superheroes, or Banco de Bogotá, and it is no longer necessary as in the past to go to the office to make the payment.
It is important to point out that pay cards collection does not include white line waste or products from the reconstruction.
And this is all the information we have for tonight for this section of Old Providence and Catalina. Continue in San Andres with more Teleislas News. Good night.